Fierce thunderstorms, freezing rain, and high winds all bombarded Michigan's lower peninsula last night.
The storms are blamed for the deaths of 3 children in western Michigan, while also leveling buildings and causing thousands to lose power. This video is from Lapeer.
Tonight, Mid-Michigan Now has team coverage as the cleanup and recovery begins, with the potential for more storms to hit us on Wednesday. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Mike Woolfolk.
And I'm Stella Daskalakis. Storm damage can be found in different areas across our region, stretching from Genesee County to Lapeer County going east and to Shiawassee County going west. Take
a look at this radar loop. It's from last night. It shows the line of storms along that front as it moved right across the state last night. The National Weather Service now confirms an EF0 tornado touched down in Caledonia, which is just southeast of Grand Rapids.
And an EF1 tornado is confirmed to have touched down in Edwardsburg, which is along the Michigan-Indiana state line. Tonight, people are busy assessing damages and trying to clean up before the next storm, which could be in just a couple of days.
Mid-Michigan Now's Andrea Flores spent the day visiting a few areas that have damage.
Yes, and she begins our team coverage from Flint. Andrea, how bad is it?
Stella, the storm certainly left its mark last night, downing trees and damaging buildings, as well as causing widespread outages here on Ida Avenue. There are some downed trees, as you guys can see over to my left. There are some downed trees that we actually just had crews working over there fixing those power lines. You guys can see there's some safety tape trying to keep everyone safe, and that tree does fall a little bit on the roof. We can't really see the extent of the damage, but there is a lot of damage here in this area. Over to my right as well, we have the same crew just moved over to this area where they're working on the power lines over here. And as you guys can see, there are as well some downed trees, like just missing that car. We don't know the extent of the damage, but my photographer, Joanne Jordan, and I drove to Owasso, where both residents and businesses are still working to recover.
Well, the bulk of the damage was our used car building, and it ripped the back roof off, kind of got underneath the roofing and then peeled it all back.
Car dealership Young Owasso is among the hardest hit businesses. Tony Young is the dealership president and says his team acted quickly to begin repairs.
Well, luckily, our roofing company we always use for all our buildings showed up this morning, and they're going to have me done by Wednesday.
While Young Owasso remains operational, other businesses and residents are still facing challenges, particularly power outages. Owasso resident Nathan Tyson-Lentz and his wife were watching Michigan State play Auburn in the NCAA basketball tournament when the storm rolled in.
As the storm started to pick up, we started hearing the big thunder claps and rain sounds hitting the house. The power went out, so we at that point retreated to the basement.
When they came back upstairs, they were shocked by what they saw outside.
My wife just looks out the window and she goes, "Oh my goodness." I had no idea what it was going to be, so this was quite the shock. My first thought was, how lucky are we?
Like many in Owasso, the Tyson-Lentz family is waiting for their power to come back on.
They say in the next 24 hours, it should be restored. Hard to believe with all the power lines that are currently down, and there's a massive tree that is in the way, so it still feels like there's a lot of work to do.
Longtime Owasso resident Denise Donovan also experienced the storm firsthand.
I was sitting at my slider just watching it roll in, and all of a sudden it just hit within like 5 minutes and started blowing siding and some wood and some shingles. It was really, really bad. It's one of the worst I've seen in a while.
Donovan was among the lucky few to not spend too long in the dark.
I was without power for about an hour, and then it came back on. So I was very happy.
Across the city, crews are working to clear debris and restore power, but it will take time for things to get back to normal. Officials urge residents to exercise caution when around downed power lines and report hazards to the proper authorities. Reporting live in Flint, Andrea Flores, Mid-Michigan Now.
Andrea, thank you for the live report there. Now, as we mentioned earlier, the storms tore through the entire state. In West Michigan, you can see here the canopy at a Marathon gas station was blown over. That's just off Highway 131 in Kalamazoo. That gas station had to shut down. The most tragic storm-related incident happened in Climax County, where Kalamazoo County Sheriff, or Climax Township, I should say, and it is where Kalamazoo County Sheriff Richard Fuller says 3 children are dead after a tree fell on the family's car.
Really, it looks like nothing anybody could have done. Family could have not avoided this. They didn't predict that something would happen in that area at that time, and ultimately this came very suddenly and fell right behind the driver's door and across the passenger area where all the children were seated.
So sad there. Officers are still investigating, but the sheriff's office says it does appear weather is the main contributing factor to that tragedy.
Northern Michigan was not spared from the severe weather last night. Thousands are without power tonight after an ice storm tore through the region. The damage includes loss of backup generators, phone and cellular services, along with downed trees and other debris, leaving roads impassable. The Mackinac Bridge also had to shut down this afternoon because of falling ice. Staff say on X it's the worst they've ever seen on the bridge. This photo was sent to our sister station in Traverse City. The viewer lives in East Jordan. Governor Gretchen Whitmer is activating the State Emergency Operations Center and declaring a state of emergency for 10 northern Michigan counties. The governor is working to get help as quickly as possible to Michiganders affected by the storm.
I want to share another photo with you. This is from Rachel in Burton. She sent this to our Chime In gallery. That's a giant branch that fell on her garage, and she says it went right through the roof.
And we're so sorry about the damage, Rachel, but we thank you for giving us a picture of what happened and sharing the photo with us. If you have photos to share, scan this QR code to get a link to the Chime In gallery. Another option is to go to Mid-MichiganNow.com and submit your photos under the Chime In tab.
Well, between the ice storms up north and the severe thunderstorms in this region, more than 200,000 people are without power across the state. DTE Energy and Consumers Energy say getting everyone's power restored could take days. Now, DTE hopes to have 95% of its impacted customers back online by tonight, but Consumers says it could be tomorrow or Wednesday before they get everyone back online.
Attorney General Dana Nessel reminds residents to watch out for common post-storm scams as they check for damage and cleanup. Bad actors may try to take advantage of storm victims. She says imposters may claim to be anyone ranging from a government leader to a local power or insurance provider. Always get in touch with your insurance company after severe weather.